Let's talk to Philip Martell. He's the superintendent of the River Valley School District on the line with us this morning. And our conversation is brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. So you welcome a guest from California, not only California, but Southern California. You welcome him here to Indiana. And what do you bring him? You bring him a snow, sleet, and freezing rain type of activity for Friday. What are you doing?
Oh, I know. It just, the weather, obviously, we know how warm it was yesterday. Now it's going to get crazy, but it's the world we live in, though. But, Ed's a trooper, and, he'd come here through anything because he knows how important what we're doing.
Ed Hidalgo is coming, and he's from the Cajon Valley Union School District in Southern California. Innovation and Education Engagement Advisor for that district. And he's going to be leading a session at the STEAM Academy tomorrow, huh?
Yes, he'll be leading that session tomorrow. We're working with Cajon Valley very closely to try to mimic some of the great things that they've done. He's leading professional development activities in the morning for our teachers, but then we have over 60-plus educators, principals, counselors, superintendents coming in the afternoon for him to do another one.
That's a pretty big sign-up, isn't it?
Yeah, we really did. Ed is credibility, is a very respected individual. So, yeah, we were very excited about the turnout in the afternoon, and we actually may have a little bit more than that, too, because we're getting some late calls today, so I have to talk to Alice and see.
So for those of us who won't be there to hear that afternoon presentation, what are some of the highlights you anticipate that he'll be providing for all these educators?
It's really, we have that discussion that it's okay when you start having early on in a child's career, it's okay for them to not know what they want to do. But to start having those conversations is a very important part of what we are doing now. And, we are in a paradigm shift, moving away from that traditional four-year degree. You can even see with the new governor relaxing standards on four-year degrees at the state. It's just we need to continue to make that shift, have those career discussions early, but allow them to explore early to try different things as we talked about before. But it's all a change in mindset, Todd. And what he's going to do is really talk about the success, but also talk about strategies on how to do it, because it is a shift in instructional practices too. Because we've done everything the same way for the last 100 years in public ed, and that's one of the things we set out now to do at River Valley. We don't want to. We want to turn the whole public education model upside down and align it with what trends are happening now with this shift.
Yeah, it's interesting. State System Chancellor this week, he wrote in his blog that, we're actually looking at emphasizing more credentialing over the four-year degree, which is kind of a shocking turn of events in education circles. You at River Valley, though, you actually have an emphasis on educating students to become educators.
We do, but all of our programs are now, to the point of the chancellor, aligned to have credentials before they graduate. But we're going to, our teacher prep program will be aligned with a few local colleges, but our students, same way, will graduate, with what we intended from the beginning, with their high school diploma and potentially their associate's degree in education. We're creating our own pipeline, and it's really, as I said, with the governor utilizing the junior colleges throughout the state that all have, articulation agreements with all the state universities. Let's do that. But we're going to have an opportunity with a grant to be able to provide, those first 2 years of college for our students that are in this program for free. We're excited about that, and we're going to be unveiling that to parents very soon.
10 or 15 years ago, would you have guessed that would be a possibility, that the idea of articulation agreements, of AP courses, actually getting students that head start on college?
No, I really wouldn't have, but I will also tell you now where we're at today, and I just see the amount of four-year schools probably within this country within the next 10 years probably being cut in half. You're going to be able to have a strong endowment or have career-related pathways or opportunities for certifications in alignment with high schools, because that's what we're doing. We're starting earlier, and we have to do that because of the need in the workforce. So I think if you don't align in that, I really see half the schools disappearing.
Wow, that's an amazing shift in the way that we educate our students. When you consider what that potential is, and you look at the way other countries are doing it, not just the United States, but other countries, is that more in line with their philosophy too, or is it different from what other countries are doing? It's
more in line. If you look what's been happening, especially in some of the Nordic states and Finland, and in Norway, and they've been ahead of the curve with this. They've changed from that traditional model where kids are sitting in the same classroom every day. They've allowed, they started to expand and move kids through the system earlier, but also bring industry credentials to the table, bring apprenticeships, bring internships, those early on. So boom, as soon as a student graduates, they are making that move right into industry. And that's what we give our students with our credentials. They have the opportunity to either, go on to their program or else, go into a 4-year school. But we're actually making a shift. We're going to add 3 medical programs now, 2 more medical programs next year, Todd, because we have 72 of our own students that are interested. So we are going to add biotechnology, biomedical technology, and health and career pathway opportunities. And we'll be unveiling that in a few weeks along with those. We'll have a partnership with St. Francis University that we're real excited about because of the credential opportunities for our students at no cost.
Wow. It really is interesting to watch what's happening in education circles. I'm doing it. I'm watching from the outside. You're right there on the inside watching all of this develop, and you're a part of it too. So it's really going to be fascinating to watch it unfold. Meanwhile, you've got a school year going on right now at River Valley School District, and you've got a District 6 championship to play for tomorrow night. Must be pretty proud of the girls, huh?
We are. Our girls work, man. They work so hard, and Coach Brown, they work hard. They play together as a team. We have been very blessed to have such an outstanding group of young women, and we're excited about where they can go this year and beyond. To be quite honest with you,
it is really going to be some event tomorrow night at Mount Aloysius College as the basketball seasons go on and actually begin to wind down. That will wind down the winter activities and. Then you get into springtime activities for a school district, and for River Valley, of course, the spring sports schedules are one thing, but spring becomes a season that is kind of different within the classrooms too, is it not?
It is. We have, we're focusing, obviously, we have some testing that goes on, but then we're looking to also schedule students for next year, introduce them to these new opportunities, to continue to do that and align our program of studies so that it coordinates with what we're trying to do as a whole as a district. So, it's a busy time, and, obviously, again, phasing and getting prepared for graduation at the end of the year as well.
Wanted to ask you about the athletic complex. We got the news last week that the bid, and there really was only one bid of note that came in on the athletic complex, going to delay things a little bit?
It is, and, we're facing a lot of the same issues that a lot of other people in our country are with supply chain, logistic issue, contractor issues. It was a very aggressive schedule by the engineer to put forth, something we should have probably thought about with those other challenges I just mentioned. But it's going to put us behind. But we want to, do this right, and we got to, and we want to do it within the cost that, what we put forth for the project. We're not going to exceed that amount, so we have to make changes. We will make changes, and but just doing it right and having it finished completely before we bring the community and the public into it.
Will the design changes that will have to be a part of this, will they impact the things that you're able to do with that facility? Are you still going to be able to do everything that you dreamed of?
As of right now, we're still on task to do complete the entire project. But as I said, as we continue to move through the project and the bidding and the bidding phases and different things, if those prices come in not within the budget, we'll go back to the drawing board and figure out what that looks like. We've made the engineer, aware that we're not exceeding that amount. We're not borrowing any more money. This is what we can afford. So we have to scale back. We'll have to do that and still try to, we'll provide the best opportunity, the best facility for our students.
Unfortunately, you still have the other field on which you can continue to play as you're looking forward to getting something new and better.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. So things that are going on within the school district, of course, the spring season comes, you get concerts, you get proms, you prepare for graduation. I know your seniors are starting to really it's odd, I think, when we get to this time of the year because the seniors are ramping up toward graduation and their future plans. At the same time, their school careers, their scholastic careers are winding down and they're wrapping things up. So it's a really weird dichotomy of what's going on in their lives, isn't it?
No question about it. A lot of emotional, emotional roller coaster, really, in a lot of ways. But it really is. But as we wind down, and especially as we get closer and the weather gets warmer, we've had a mild winter already. But hopefully we continue to move through the spring, and so it really is a roller coaster of emotions for them.
Yeah, and plus you're getting set to welcome kindergartners in, and I don't know. Do you run your preschool program? Does it run through the district or through some other entity?
No, we have it. It's part of the academies at Salzburg. We have, along with the STEAM Academy, is our full pre-K program, which is set up on a little town, and we also have our cyber academy. So no, we're registered. We've opened our pre-K registration now, and we'll continue to do that throughout the summer. We're excited about our pre-K program. Really, as I said, we know that the data shows clearly with students starting earlier that they're better off educationally. But the other side of this is we need to continue to get people back to work. The cost of daycare and different things in this country is preventing people from actually going back to work. So we feel like that we serve two purposes by allowing parents to go back to work and also getting our students started earlier.
Expanding roles for school districts, and unfortunately it has to be that way, but it's good to have school districts that are willing to step in and do that sort of thing. Well, busy times at River Valley. Philip Martell, thanks so much for spending some time with us this morning.
I appreciate it, Todd. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160.